I am totally illiterate. Philosophy is easy. Anyone could do it. Totally illiterate.
It is a reading a Plato account of Phaedrus that does not depend on totality or accounting in a total fashion. So you might stop me and you'd be warranted to stop me and say, okay, but Davis, like accounting by essence is total, right? If you have not totally accounted for something, you have not accounted for, right? There's no room for a sort of wishy-washy empiricism here of, oh, we kind of accounted for it, we kind of didn't. That would be a totally valid reaction. And the claim would be if the Platonic text itself has a different relation to totality, has a different relation to truth and the eidos than we might have had up to this point, then we also will get a different sort of deconstructive understanding of accounting for a phenomenon. And the claim would be previous readings of Plato don't fulfill their definition of accounting or a Derridian understanding of accounting, right? They don't account on any level, right? Why is the Phaedrus about rhetoric and about writing and about play and about love? Like, how go? These things, most Platonic texts are not so scattered in their topos, right? Most Platonic texts have a topic, a problem, and zero in on that throughout it. And that's why they're so easily categorizable. This text seems to not be totalizable by the classicists. And so the Derridian argument would be deconstructive reading accounts for the totality and what exceeds by necessity the totality. So the argument would be writing, the pharmacon, play has a disjunctive, deconstructive relation to totality. And Derrida has shown that accounted for that. And a separate point on that, one you might think, or at least I certainly think, okay, but if we go back to those 2 pages that started Plato's Pharmacy, they're a priori true, okay? If you go through my arguments or can explain when we work through those arguments, they don't need a case to be true. They're just like all arguments that proceeded through analytic a priori talking about what reading is. And the Derridian argument is, so this is like all the thinking of the event in French thought is a way to be neither purely a priori nor purely empirical. Because when we talk about we have a phenomenon, we need to account for it. This is a sort of an empirical case that's been presented for us, to us. How do we account for it? The Derridian argument is through reading it. So that's why Derrida, every time he reads, wants to basically totally reinvent. His argument is every reading has to be inventive or it's not a reading. He has to basically totally reinvent what reading means, what deconstruction is, every individual case presented with it.